On the 21st of August 1911, it was a quiet Monday morning in the French capital, Paris. The city was alive, bustling as always. People were heading to work, lost in their daily routines, completely unaware that history was about to change. Because at that very moment, 3 men walked out of the Louvre Museum. They had spent the entire night inside the museum, and now, as they stepped into the morning light, they were carrying something extraordinarily valuable, an important property of the Louvre, carefully hidden beneath a blanket, as they tried to escape without drawing attention. They walked calmly to a nearby railway station, caught a train at 8:45 in the morning, and disappeared. At that exact moment, the world had no idea what had just happened. A painting had been stolen. Not an ordinary painting, not even a famous one. The most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa. Today, the value of this painting is close to $1 billion. But why? What makes it so special? What secrets does the Mona Lisa hide? And why is it considered the most famous painting in human history? Let's uncover the mystery of the Mona Lisa in today's video. The Mona Lisa was painted in 1503 by an Italian artist named Leonardo da Vinci, and calling this man talented would be a massive understatement. Leonardo wasn't just a painter. He was also an engineer, a scientist, a sculptor, an architect, and a theorist. He possessed knowledge across countless subjects: painting, cartography, astronomy, anatomy, botany, hydrology, geology, optics, and even paleontology. An entire video could be made just on his life. But for now, let's focus on his most famous creation, the Mona Lisa. The biggest question people have always asked is simple: who is the woman in this painting? The first major revelation came in 1550 from an Italian artist named Giorgio Vasari, who wrote the biography of Leonardo da Vinci. According to Vasari, the woman in the painting was Lisa Gherardini. She was married to a silk trader from Florence, a man named Francesco Giocondo. Vasari believed that Francesco had commissioned this painting of his wife, and that's where the painting's names come from. The name we all know, Mona Lisa, comes from Madonna Lisa. In traditional Italian, Madonna meant Madame, so Madonna Lisa simply meant Madame Lisa. Over time, Madonna was shortened to Mona, spelled with a double N. When written in English, one N was dropped, and Mona became Mona. So Mona Lisa literally means Madam Lisa, or Lady Lisa. Then comes the painting's second name, La Gioconda. After marriage, Lisa Gherardini became Lisa Giocondo. Interestingly, in Italian, Giocondo means light-hearted, cheerful, bright, and joyful. And today, the Mona Lisa is most famous for one thing: her smile. That's where the name La Gioconda comes from. In French, Giocondo is written with a G, La Joconde. So if you visit the Louvre today, that's how the painting is identified. However, despite Vasari's explanation, people weren't convinced. Alternative theories began to emerge. Some claimed the woman was Leonardo da Vinci's own mother. Others believed she was a queen from Italian aristocracy. And then came the most bizarre theory of all, that this painting isn't of a woman at all, but a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. The idea was that Leonardo painted himself as a woman, imagining how he would look. This theory gained attention in 1987, when artist Lillian Schwartz used digital tools to compare Leonardo's face with the Mona Lisa. But realistically, with enough manipulation, almost any two faces can be made to look similar. Today, however, we can say with high certainty that the woman in the painting is indeed Lisa Giocondo. A professor from Florence spent 25 years researching this mystery. In 2004, he uncovered archival evidence that finally confirmed it. He discovered that the Da Vinci family had close ties with the Giocondo family. Records showed that Lisa's marriage was registered on the 5th of March, 1495. Lisa was just 16 years old, while Francesco was around 30. Leonardo da Vinci's father knew Francesco very well. It's even possible that the painting wasn't commissioned by Lisa's husband at all, but by Leonardo's father himself. According to Professor Palanti, Lisa was 24 years old when the Mona Lisa was painted. There were likely two reasons for it. Either in 1503, when Francesco and Lisa bought their home, or in December 1502, when their second son was born. The second reason seems more likely, because in 1499, Lisa had lost her daughter. If you look closely at the painting, you'll notice a veil over Lisa's hair. Many believe this is a mourning veil, worn after the death of a loved one. Now comes an obvious question. If Leonardo was Italian and Mona Lisa was Italian, why is the painting in France? In 1516, King Francis I of France invited Leonardo da Vinci to live in France. Leonardo accepted and took the Mona Lisa with him. Historical records aren't completely clear, but it's believed that the painting wasn't finished yet. Even after 15 years, Leonardo was still modifying it, perfecting it. In 1519, Leonardo da Vinci passed away in France. The king kept the painting as part of his royal collection. About 150 years later, in 1797, during the French Revolution, the painting was moved from the palace to the Louvre Museum. And this brings us back to the theft of 1911. The mastermind was Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian nationalist and an employee at the Louvre. He believed the painting belonged to Italy. One night, he hid inside the museum, waited until morning, and simply walked out with the Mona Lisa. Before we return to the theft, let's understand what makes this painting so special. First, it isn't painted on canvas or cloth. It's painted on poplar wood, a favorite material of Italian painters at the time. Second, it's surprisingly small, just 77 by 53 centimeters. Yet, it draws massive crowds. Why? Because this was one of the first paintings to focus so closely on a person, a half-length portrait, something completely normal today, but revolutionary back then. Over time, the painting turned yellowish and dull, so much so that a professor once joked that Lisa had high cholesterol. But there are reasons for this. A protective varnish was applied to shield it from moisture, and over centuries, the colors naturally faded. Originally, the painting was far brighter. Leonardo used a unique technique called sfumato, the art of blending. The background, the Arno Valley, has no sharp outlines. Even Mona Lisa's hair blends into the landscape. This technique is the secret behind her mysterious smile. When you stare directly at her smile, it seems to disappear. But when you look elsewhere, at her eyes or the background, suddenly she appears to smile more. Leonardo was obsessed with understanding this. He studied anatomy obsessively. He dissected human bodies, examined facial muscles, and even compared expressions with horses. He later studied optics and discovered how peripheral vision detects shadows differently. So even when you're not focusing on her smile, your eyes still feel it. And now, the twist. What if the Mona Lisa is actually two paintings? In 1504, the artist Raphael made a sketch of the Mona Lisa, but with columns in the background. The Louvre version has no such columns. Then, in 1914, a second Mona Lisa surfaced, the Isleworth Mona Lisa. It's slightly larger. The woman looks younger. Her expression is clearer, less mysterious. Experts now believe Leonardo may have painted two versions, or that his workshop completed one of them. There's no solid proof. The mystery remains. Coming back to the theft, Peruggia hid the painting in his home for 2 years. Eventually, he tried to sell it. He approached an art dealer in Florence, Giovanni Poggi. Poggi recognized the Louvre stamp immediately. Perugia was arrested and sentenced to 6 months in prison. The Mona Lisa returned to the Louvre on the 4th of January 1914. Today, it sits behind bulletproof glass, under perfectly controlled conditions. Ironically, it was this theft that made the Mona Lisa world famous. Before 1911, only art lovers knew about it. After the theft, the entire world did. So the next time you see the massive crowd surrounding the Mona Lisa, you know who to blame: Vincenzo Perugia. If you liked this video, hit subscribe